We're headed to Pittsburgh, Baltimore against the Steelers. Battle of two quarterbacks that have 6 MVPs between them, but both have fallen on some tough times. Lamar literally missing last week's game, but he says he's good to go this week. Rodgers played last week, but he was missing his game. You know what I mean?
Good one, Wildes.
He's
going to bounce back.
Rematch of Week 14. Greg, what do you look? Greg's just laughing so hard at my joke.
Your joke, it was hilarious.
Steelers won 27-22. Here's the weird part when we talked about like how good Gainwell is going to be. Steelers only rushed for 34 yards. It's really Aaron Rodgers doing all the damage through the air.
Yeah.
Well, it was DK Metcalf doing damage after the catch.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
How many yards?
And the refs that took that
refs.
catch away.
Oh, the refs.
That catch, was that a catch, Greg? Isaiah Likely?
These guys.
I know Greg knows.
They said it wasn't a catch.
Refs.
More pressure on Lamar or Aaron Rodgers?
I'll be shocked if either of you say anybody but Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I mean, I don't look. Everything Aaron Rodgers does is gravy at this point. He's a made man. He's got his Super Bowl. He's got all his MVPs. He's legendary. Sure, if he won another Super Bowl, he can add to that. But really, even if he doesn't win this game and make the playoffs, he'll get bashed for a day or two. Oh, he couldn't go there and, get the Steelers in the playoffs. But it won't really be any big deal. He's 42 years old. He's without two of his best weapons, too, in the tight end, Darnell Washington, and obviously DK Metcalf, his best weapon. TJ Watt looks like he may play.
TJ Watt says he's going to play.
But Lamar, he's the better QB. He's in his prime. You won't even be able to say, well, you can't blame him for one game, because had he played better against Pittsburgh before and Cincinnati, they probably aren't even in this position where it's a do or die situation. That's not to mention all of the noise, as he called it, that's out there. True or not, who knows at this point? There's so many contradictions, but still, it is out there. All right. And so there is so much. I think it is all riding on Lamar. And it's not even close to me whose the pressure's on.
Yeah, this is all about Lamar Jackson. Like, he's answering, to your point, questions in the media about, are you sleeping in meetings now? Right. Do you want to be here? All these questions are surrounding Lamar Jackson simply because he hasn't been available, or when he has been available, he hasn't been the Lamar MVP version. And rightfully so. But I think what also is going to put a magnifying glass on how we watch this game is what we saw last week. How that offense looked, what they did from a play calling standpoint. They had a clear identity. They established dominance on the front, on the offensive line. Ran Derrick Henry, had success on the road. Well, one would say against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that has been up and down, obviously they generate turnovers. Can you not run the ball? Well, you did it. You just showed the stats. You can run the ball against them, so we know that. Lamar, can you not turn the ball over? Because that's the issue.
He doesn't take brutal sacks.
He doesn't play well against this team. So there's reason to believe that, and there's stats that are supported based on his playoff experience and record. He doesn't perform against this team and in the
biggest spots.
The brightest and biggest spots. So yes, Lamar Jackson, it's all about what is he going to look like? Can he deliver in this moment?
It's also, the Ravens this year are 8-8. They are 6-6 in the games Lamar plays. They are 2-2 in the games he does not. They have 2 great wins this year against the Packers and against the Bears. I think those are the 2 best teams they have beaten. Those games happened without Lamar. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Lamar is better than Lamar's one of the 15, maybe even 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Mm-hmm. He turns 29 next week, so he's in his prime. He's better than Tyler Huntley. That is not the same thing as saying the Ravens have played better with Lamar than they have with Tyler Huntley this year, because they really haven't. It's been they're 2 of their best offensive performances of the season, 2 of them, not the 2, were with Huntley. The very best was week 1 with Lamar. But here's the other reason that the answer is Lamar. If they miss the playoffs this year, And it's another year where Lamar doesn't get the opportunity to exercise the one real demon, which is his lack of playoff success. Do you think he is a favorite to ever win a Super Bowl?
A favorite? Like,
do you think do you think it is more likely than not? If someone says to you, hey,
every year,
even at any
I think if he
moving forward, will he at any point, like, if someone said to you, hey, this, I know you don't gamble, but just pretend this bet pays out at retirement, you can bet yes or no.
Gee whiz.
Will Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl? Will Lamar Jackson make a Super Bowl? He turns 29 this offseason. We think if they lose, he's going to deal with a head coaching change. It is like,
I love this, first of all. Because I feel like we have allotted
a lot of Super Bowls to a lot of guys.
Yes, it's like name 10 guys for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
We've got
You've
the next
given
10 years,
5 to
15 guys are going to win the Super Bowl. Mahomes
Correct.
will win another one. Burrow will get one. Josh will get one. Drake will get one. Oh, Caleb all of a sudden will get one. So
it was nice you'd only say Drake will get one, KW. I know you were saying like 3 to 6.
I know. I don't think anyone says that.
Jalen Hurts, who's
Brock
going to be Terry Bradshaw.
Maybe.
Like Brew, I mean, you're the Lamar guy. Like, do you think that's fair? What I'm saying?
I do. Look, if they don't make the playoffs this year and they came out next year and were 14-3 and Lamar's looking like the old Lamar, I think they could go into the playoffs favored. So I
don't mean will they be a Vegas favorite. I'm saying would you say yes or no if you were asking?
I still think what he does in the regular season.
At some point.
Yeah, I could see.
It'd have to be a coaching change or adding a major weapon.
I mean, I'm not saying he'll definitely win one. I'm just saying there'll be things he could do to make me think.
I would just be nervous if I'm the Ravens, man. Like this, because the other thing is this. I looked it up, all the quarterbacks with at least, I think, 3,500 rushing yards. And how long was their prime and when did it end? So, like, Donovan McNabb's last really great year, he was 30. Steve McNair was 30. Steve Young's weird because he didn't really become a starter till he was 31. So that one, he was 37.
But the guys also, I would say, overall are playing longer.
They're playing longer, but like, so then I'll take out Randall Cunningham, who was 31. Russell Wilson played a long time. His last really good year, he was 32. Mike was 30. His is weird because of because he had league. And Cam famously was 28. So like.
But shoot, Cam had more hits in one.
And by the way, this is a Josh. This applies to Josh Allen too, because Josh Allen's has similar yardage number, and more bruising style. But what we haven't seen with Josh is the injury-riddled year that we're seeing from Lamar right now. And so it's just, I just feel like every year that you have one of these guys in their prime and you don't get in the tournament is an abject disaster. It's why if I were Cincy, I'd be firing the coach. If I were Baltimore, I'd be very nervous. And so there's just so much pressure on them to, as you've said, in a wide-open AFC, get in and see what happens.
It's not like any team's got 14 wins in the AFC.
Nobody, no.
Oh! It's time now for a segment so hot, my grandmother
You guys don't have 14 wins.
put me in the car, drove to a bridge somewhere I'd never seen before, took this segment out of her purse, one of the handkerchief, and threw it into the water. Said, "You didn't see anything." It's that hot. It's upset alert. I don't know what it was, and I barely remember it, but I didn't see anything.
She had illicit firearms and...
Whoa. I didn't see anything. I just know she took one of her handkerchiefs, picked something out of her purse, and threw it into a river. That's how hot this segment is. It's upset alert. Greg, here's the standings before we get to you.
Let's look at it.
It is hot.
Great week last week, KW.
4.5.
4.5 points.
Wow.
You could catch them.
Yes, you could.
I could?
Not this week,
Is
but
it
by the
really?
Super Bowl, yeah.
When does it end?
yeah,
The Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Huh. That's interesting.
You're not dead. You're alive.
alive.
Brew's
More
in
life
trouble.
support.
Brew needs to...
One of the issues is the photo.
Yeah, you look.
Yeah, give me a better photo. I think that may
You need
be
to be
my
like
problem.
you're determined,
Yeah.
bro.
Coach went to the Carolina.
Congratulations, Greg. Excellent
that
job.
was enough.
Brew, you came this close to getting a cover. Jags hit a field goal late.
I've been close a lot.
Yeah.
I've been close a lot.
I've been hearing that every week.
Oh, gee whiz. A lot of animosity.
Yeah, little buddy
I'm
rivalry.
congratulating Greg. Excellent job, man. You were fantastic this year.
I don't need it. Look, this week I'm going down to going to Atlanta, but to Bayou. I'm going with the Saints.
Interesting.
Oh, I looked at that one.
shuck.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Look, I know.
I like that a lot.
Look, I know we don't talk about these teams because they're not going into the postseason, but oh, shucks. He's been balling.
He's good.
Last 4 weeks. Don't care who their opponents are, America. Look at these numbers. He's been putting them up. Obviously, we see the win-loss record. The completion percentage is up there. Passing yards, passer rating. You have to feel really good if you are rooting for these Saints from now into next season because of what you're seeing out of your young quarterback. And defensively, they've been decent as well, only allowing 16.5 points a game for the last 3 games. Again, I don't care who you've been playing.
Tell me about it.
We don't care.
I
The
hear
fact that you've been rolling. Now, mind you, they're playing the Atlanta Falcons. I know everybody's nervous because of what Atlanta did, and they did it against the Rams. But this is who Atlanta has been all season long. They win a big game, prime time. We
Yep.
saw it with the Bills. And then, Atlanta being Atlanta all over again. So even though Atlanta is hosting the Saints going to come marching in. They're going to get it done.
Wow. That was great. That was a lot of.
That'd be great.
That would have been
Baker.
a great must-win.
Yeah.
It would be
If he was
great
like,
for
oh,
Baker has to have
All he has to do is win.
Yeah. Yeah.
that was
All right, 2 of my hometowns going at it. I have to pick one. Browns over the Bengals. That's 7.5 points, I believe. Yes, 7.5.
10.5 because you get the 3-point bonus.
Ooh-wee. I'll be right on your tail, Wild.
Not necessarily, I don't think.
Look, obviously Cincinnati has a weak defense.
Yeah.
I think Shador is going to cook. I think he's going to give Cleveland.
Because he's one of these he's going to hit. He's like, he going to
Did he not? Who was that he hit against? Was that Tennessee?
Well, they lost to
Huge
the
game.
Titans, but
Huge
yeah, he had a
game
big
against
game.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
He is going to give the Browns something to think about this offseason.
Okay.
Because he's going to go out with a bang. I also think the Browns are more hyped about this last game than the Bengals are. Because one, they are coming off a big win over the Steelers. They maybe ruined the Steelers season.
Yeah.
2, they got the Myles Garrett sack record that they're all gung-ho about. They want to get it for him. All right. And conversely, I think the Bengals are just like, let's just get it over with. It's been it's been a disappointing year.
Well, they were great last week. The Bengals
fine.
were.
That
great
wasn't
the
the
week
last.
before.
That wasn't the last game.
Joe Burrow's just in mid-season form, though. He
Yeah,
played a handful of
I
games.
just think they're
He
going
wants
to be
still
like,
play.
let's just
What
get
about-
this thing
yeah.
over with. And Burrow struggles against the Browns. Y'all talking about Lamar against the Steelers? He's 4-5 against the Browns. And Browns, we know, haven't been good throughout that stretch or every year.
Yeah.
So I see an upset coming in the Ohio
Miles Garrett
State
goes and gets
Championship.
him.
Yes, Miles gets it. In fact, Miles breaks even the unofficial record, which is 23 sacks from Al Bubba Baker, 1978 rookie
You
year.
remember Al Bubba Baker?
I do. I remember rooting for just that whole season.
Wow.
He was a rookie. He took the
Who was
league
on
by
the call? He's
storm.
like, I can remember that. Like he was shocked.
Oh, that we
shocked.
Exactly. Y'all weren't even
He's like-
born.
He's like, I remember that fondly. Time now for the Puxatawny Phil of football to make his upset alert. Why do they call you Puxatawny Phil of football? You cover the fur and live in a log? Just a coincidence. This is a perfect upset alert. Perfect for 2 reasons. 1, because I think it's going to happen. 2, because I need it to happen. Chargers, straight up over the Broncos. The number 1 seed goes to New England? Yep, that is what would end up happening. First up, favored by more than 8. Hey, 14, 15, and 2, the rest of the NFL. Broncos are 0-5. Remember, when they win games, but they win them tight. Against good teams, bad teams, doesn't matter. They just win tight. They've had one of the easiest schedules this century.
But you think they're going to lose, though.
You're picking them outright. I mean, you have no choice.
Luck. All right.
You guys don't get the 1 seed if the
don't-
Chargers cover. You
We
get the
should.
1 seed if they win.
Look, here's what I want to happen.
Right.
It gets close, and then something weird happens.
Yeah.
Broncos last week against the Chiefs, who didn't have Patrick Mahomes, didn't even have Gardner Minshew. Guess what? Couldn't really move the ball. And granted, I don't know if the Chargers defense is going to show up and play like that with Herbert gone. Trey Lance under center since Herbert is relaxing. Last start we saw from Trey Lance, week 18 for the Cowboys, 244 yards, 26 on the ground. So maybe could do a little bit more.
Knicks guy.
Do they have a lot to play for? Seeding a little bit. Keenan Allen has a lot to play for, Greg. $1 million on the line. 6 catches, $750K. 2 touchdowns, $250. It seems like tough to get. 9 receiving yards, that's right.
Yeah.
$250,000. Get 134 receiving yards, you get $250,000. Like, hey, Trey Lance, Keenan Allen's going to be getting
He
the
needs
ball.
6 catches,
Yeah.
and he gets $1 million is the way to look at it. Because the 9 yards would come.
Yeah.
Can he get him 6
He's getting-
catches?
It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be hot in the locker room if he don't get him no 6 catches.
Yeah,
At least give him the 6 catches. Trey.
he'll get there. Time now for a red-hot Knicks pick.
Oh, wow. We're getting right to it. Thank you,
Smoking
KW. Well, last week we were 1-2. However,
The lock hit, though.
the lock did
Lock's
hit.
hot.
Jags, 5.5-point favorite. Never a doubt, even though it took an odd field goal at the end, so they won by 6. Steelers, 3-point favorite against the Browns. I got to be totally honest with America. That happened to also be one of my picks and one of the biggest bets I've made in the NFL all year. The moment the Ravens won, I was like, well, now the Steelers have to win. Obviously, they're going to win. I watched that game alongside Danny Parkins and the warm, awful blue moons he brought to my house, and I kicked him out.
Well, I didn't even think about that. They were warm.
It was.
Why didn't you just buy them from like the corner
you
bodega?
guys, I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, it wasn't fun. And then at night, the Bills 1.5-point favorites. As soon as they scored the touchdown, and I see Sean McDermott do the stupid little 2 thing, I'm like, well, I'm screwed either way. I mean, whether he played for overtime, Sean. The Eagles hadn't completed a pass.
Yeah, it's obvious.
We get it back this week. Only a game and a half behind Parkins because he went 0-3.
But you're 500. You're making money if
I'm
you-
at 500. No, I'm not making
Well, I
money
would.
yet, but it's
If
fine.
you pick the right
Seahawks, 1.5. Sam Darnold. I believe in you.
No, you don't.
Kinda. Here's what I believe in.
Wow.
I believe that the Niners defense is a sheep in wolf's clothing. You don't hear that often. It's usually a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is the opposite.
Sheep and wool. Yeah, I like
A
that.
sheep, yeah. It's actually bad, but it looks scary because it's Niners defense and it's Robert Saleh and they're the 1 seed. It's not good.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Caleb Williams is really good. He looked like, I mean, peak Patrick Mahomes last week against that defense. Sam Darnold, throw to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Take care of the ball. You can't have what happened last year happen again. You guys can win the Super Bowl if you win this game. Be the 1 seed. Get a week off. Lay in just a 1.5. Win by a field goal. I believe in the Seahawks this week. I think the Niners have had a great season. Have they had number 1 seed in the toughest division in the tougher conference season? No.
Easiest schedule in the league.
No, they didn't have these. I'm going to strangle you, Wildes.
Preseason, easiest schedule.
Yes,
in the
but
league.
then
Turned into the 10th
Yes,
toughest.
but the difference is, then
How?
the
How'd
games
that
were
happen?
played because those teams won games, KW. Not against the Niners.
Now listen to Warren Sharp. Easiest,
Put KW on camera. See,
Hey.
talk about the Niners schedule.
easiest schedule.
They didn't have an easy
They
schedule.
played the Cardinals
I'm going to
twice.
They played the Rams twice.
The Rams were good.
Seattle.
They're
will be
playing the
twice.
Niners. They're playing the Seahawks. I mean, whatever. Next.
Don't let him get you out.
What
of
are you
sorts.
doing with this?
Taking the
That's
Raiders
Geno.
plus 5.5.
They're trying to lose.
Well, guess what? Here's what I know. I know
Wow.
that with all due respect to my beloved Kansas City Chiefs, they should not be laying nearly a touchdown against anyone right now. They are. I also know this. The Chiefs have the opportunity to cost the Raiders the number 1 pick. They're in the division. That sounds like a good thing to do. Also, the Chiefs are on their 3rd string quarterback, gonna be missing 4/5 of their offensive line, both starting receivers, most of their defense. They're not a 5. I'd watch this offense post Mahomes. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. And it's not good. I'm not laying 5.5 points. The Raiders can win outright. The Raiders will cover. KW, they scored
I know, but it's 2013.
KW, they are the Chiefs are the favorites. The Chiefs can win this game, and I win. They have, since Mahomes went down, they've scored 9, they have scored 13. It averages to 11 points a game. Can the Raiders get to 6? I think so. Listen, I'll take the Raiders plus 5.5. And last but not least, Mike Tomlin, as a divisional home underdog, is quite simply, Vegas-wise, the greatest coach in NFL history. Mike Tomlin, as an underdog against the Ravens the last decade, is peak Vince Lombardi. I am getting more than 3.5 points from the home team in a matchup that every time they play a big game feels like it's a field goal at the end to win it. I think the Steelers win outright. I certainly think if they don't win outright, it's a 3-point loss. I'll take the full 3.5. So I am taking Seattle minus 1.5, despite KW's thoughts on the Niners schedule, and the Raiders plus 5.5, despite KW's thoughts on the Chiefs against the Broncos, and the Steelers plus 3.5, despite the fact that Brew desperately needs the Ravens to win.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.